I'm tracking a dynamic storm over the Atlantic Ocean as it aims for southwestern Europe, bringing heavy rainfall, thunderstorms, and strong wind before spreading inland and causing widespread wintry weather. And at the same time, Winter Storm Heather is spreading snowfall, sleet, and freezing rain across the southern United States, so I'll give you an update on that and a few other things later in this forecast. We're going to get straight into this video by taking a look at the current satellite imagery. You can see Storm Irene there south of the Azores Islands, and what I really want you to take note of is all of that convection that we have developing around the center, and that just indicates how warm and unstable this air mass is. Now we're going to watch how this current weather pattern is going to evolve. Storm Irene will approach Portugal and Spain today into tomorrow before impacting the region starting Tuesday afternoon and evening, going into the nighttime hours. When that precipitation gets into France, where we do have colder air in place, we expect a switch over to freezing rain and snowfall. Wintry weather is still expected across parts of the United Kingdom even if Storm Irene fails to move far enough north, and that's because of that Arctic air mass causing widespread snow showers to form. You can see here as we push this forward, most of the snow that develops will be confined primarily to northern parts of the UK, such as Scotland and Northern Ireland, as well as coastal areas. On Thursday, the precipitation will start to drift southward, so places that had switched over to a cold rain will eventually switch back to wintry precipitation, and this could include a few areas like Paris, France, and Munich, Germany. Widespread snow showers are expected across southern Scandinavia and northeastern Europe, and that's going to be associated with that cold wave working its way in, as well as another low pressure area coming in off the North Sea on Wednesday. It's easy to miss, but if you focus right around Denmark, you can see this small and compact little low pressure system coming in from the North Sea, and by Wednesday evening it's going to move over southern Norway and Sweden, so we could see some widespread moderate to heavy snowfall in some of those areas. For Southeast Europe, we do have widespread rainfall, especially around Greece, Turkey, and Italy, with snowfall in some of the Balkan countries. As Storm Irene moves into Europe, we expect another round of heavy rain and storms for southeastern areas by Wednesday, and as that moisture slowly works its way south and east through the weekend, cold air will fill in, leading to another possible round of snowfall across the Balkans. Here's the expected snowfall for the next 5 days, and over northwest Europe we have a couple areas to focus on. One area is over northern France into central Germany, and that's where I expect the main swath of snowfall from Storm Irene. In the United Kingdom we see the most widespread snow across Scotland and Northern Ireland, as well as north-central England. Southern Scandinavia will get snow showers, but a more significant and concentrated wave of snow is coming, with that compact low-pressure system arriving by midweek, so Denmark, southern Norway, and southern Sweden should be ready for that. For northeastern Europe, you can expect widespread snow, especially across Finland, Ukraine, Belarus, and the Baltic countries. And lastly, southern Europe can expect snowfall, especially for parts of the Balkans into the mountainous terrain of Turkey, Georgia, and Russia. Freezing rainfall could be an issue, especially in Western and Central Europe, and it looks like all the weather models are agreeing on freezing rain occurring generally within this red outline that I have drawn, so places like Paris may have to deal with some freezing rain in addition to snowfall, as well as southern Belgium, Luxembourg, central and southern Germany, and Switzerland. The further east you go, the more sporadic the freezing rainfall becomes, and that's because we have increasingly cold air going in that direction, so precipitation should fall mainly as snow. Now we're taking a look at the expected precipitation accumulation across Europe, and we can see that southern areas will see the highest amount of liquid precipitation, especially across Portugal and Spain with the arrival of Storm Irene. France, Germany, and Switzerland are another few countries that can expect a good amount of precipitation, and the same goes for many areas around the Mediterranean, especially west-facing areas. In my last forecast, I also promised an update to my severe weather forecast for Iberia, so here it is. Conditions will be favorable for thunderstorms all across this red area, with some of them possibly being locally intense. Now for the dark red zone, I've expanded this region to include much of Portugal and even parts of Spain, and that's still where I personally believe we have the greatest risk for some strong to severe storms, with the primary hazard of very strong winds within thunderstorms. I also can't rule out the possibility of some tornadic waterspouts moving on shore, especially for the west coast of Portugal. Not only will there be strong wind shear moving overhead like I mentioned in my last forecast, but we're also going to have some strong winds on the surface. By Tuesday, those winds are slamming Madeira Island and beginning to move into mainland Portugal and then into Spain, And then on Wednesday, we expect widespread strong winds all across Iberia and even Morocco, with other areas further north and east getting some strong winds as the system heads inland. So that's going to be all for my European weather segment for today, but I've got more information coming very soon. If you want to stay updated on the latest weather developments across Europe, don't forget to subscribe. With that said, let's begin Chapter 2. Right now we have a winter storm spreading ice and snow from Texas into the Tennessee River Valley, and as we go through the day today, we will see that shift more into the mid-Atlantic. By tomorrow, we're going to see that freezing rain and sleet slowly disappear across the south as the moisture heads into an increasingly warm environment, but we're going to see widespread light to moderate snow across the northeast before it's all said and done by Wednesday. Even after this storm moves away, a cold air mass will remain, so lake effect snowfall will continue streaming off the Great Lakes for a few more days. These are the key messages from early this morning, and on the bottom left you can see all the warnings that we have in effect, which extend all the way from deep south Texas up to the New York area. Freezing rain totals are shown on the bottom right graphic, with eastern Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, western and northern Alabama, northwest Georgia, southern Tennessee, and southern Virginia with the greatest risk of 1/10 of an inch of ice accretion or more. This will make driving difficult and even hazardous, so it's best to avoid travel unless it's necessary. And then the primary swath of snowfall with this system will extend from Arkansas all the way into the northeast. And then we also have this graphic here regarding the extremely cold temperatures, and then that will persist for a few more days. That's going to be all for this forecast, so if you would like to see my upcoming videos with more information on what's coming, please consider subscribing. If you have any further questions, feel free to leave them down below and I'll answer them as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.